California is getting humiliated. One Gavin Newsom is getting humiliated. Karen Bass is getting humiliated. None of them can quite take it. I got to start with Karen because this is something. I mean, living up to the name, the Karen thing, right? Just totally freaking out, seemingly crying there on the streets of LA. Take a peek.
Not believe that this just happened to be a coincidence.
There is no way this was a coincidence. This was widely publicized that the governor and many of our other elected officials were having a press conference here to talk about redistricting, and they decided they were going to come and thumb their nose in front of the governor's face. Why would you do that? That is unbelievably disrespectful. It's a provocative act. They're talking about disorder in Los Angeles, and they are the source of the disorder in Los Angeles right now. This is just completely unacceptable. This is a administration, this is a Customs and Border Patrol that has gone amok. This absolutely has to stop. There was no danger here. There was no need to detain anyone here. And there was certainly no need to have a provocative act right here where the governor is having a press conference.
Okay, she seems a little mad to me. What about you guys? I mean, but this is par for the course, all right? So there's a lot of theater going into this. But you got to admit, it was a pretty good troll. Okay, so Gavin's got his big meeting, and what does Trump do? He sends in ICE officers. Gavin loses it. This is after Gavin had printed out that, I want to say tweet, but I guess we call it post now, on X, trying to mimic one Donald Trump, saying, you absolutely, you must do this. Oh, do I have a copy of that? I do somewhere for you. Let's see. Here's the warning. Okay, take a look at this. This is the final warning, he says. Maybe the most important warning in history. Stop cheating, or California will redraw maps, and guess who will announce it this week? Gavin Newsom. Many say the most loved and handsome governor and a very powerful team. Don't make us do it. Thank you for your attention to this matter. Okay, so he's trolling him, and then Trump fires back with some pretty serious stuff because he showed up, or rather ICE officers showed up at some press conference that Gavin was supposed to have, completely upstaging him. Watch how he freaks out.
Troops is a dangerous escalation. It's not about public safety. There's clearly no plan, and there is clearly no policy.
Yeah, the Defense Department has the U.S. Marines on high alert right now.
Ooh, okay, we're going to get to that in just a moment because, we just went through this, did we not? Like what, last month? In fact, that was Whoopi Goldberg from last month complaining because we went through something very, very similar. That was when Donald Trump got the authority to bring in the National Guard because they were having all these protests and all these riots. And so this is all happening, right, amid the backdrop of D.C., where he just ended sanctuary status. We're going to talk about that because Tom Homan had promised it. Pam Bondi just came out last night and said it's official. No more sanctuary status. Of course, the Dems are already suing in D.C. to try and get back control of the city. I'm like, guys, don't look a gift horse in the mouth. I mean, the federal government's willing to help you clean up crime, and yet you're going to fight that one? Of course they're going to fight that one because it's resist, 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 don't you know? Okay, well, this is The View reacting to what happened there in California just last month, and it's kind of a similar pattern, right? You have the idea that ICE is coming in now, and ICE is taking over, and ICE is saying, look, the local authorities have to cooperate with us. And if they don't, then there's going to be consequences for that. And guess what? I hate to break it to you, but they have the actual legal right to do this. And we can go through all the constitutional clauses, but whether it's the Commerce Clause, whether it's the Supremacy Clause, whether it's the Immigration Clause, I mean, there's not a lot of power that the federal government actually really and truly does have. And I'm a limited power kind of girl. Live free or die, New Hampshire. But I will tell you this, when it comes to who's in the country, yeah, the feds have that power all day long, and they're going to continue to have it. I mean, I don't know what Gavin is thinking here. Somebody sent me this. This is kind of funny. I want to show you. Maybe this is what Gavin is thinking, okay? This is what Gavin is thinking, guys. This is what he wants in terms of his redistricting. This is what we're talking about, right? Yeah. I mean, that would be pretty epic. Again, let me bring that back on to you. You understand the point being that, he's willing to take in, I guess, all of Latin America somehow. And that's really not going to fly. And so this is sort of the state in which we now live, where it's resist at at every single turn, even stuff that could actually help the state. I'm looking at, for example, the new poll out of Politico, and you know what it shows? It shows that independents actually really back these independent congressional maps, which really complicates what Gavin Newsom is trying to do, because Gavin Newsom wants to redistrict again to try and give himself and the Dems in California a continued edge. Texas is like, okay, well, yeah, go try that. Look at what we're doing. We're about to like get rid of all the Dems because none of them are coming back to work. As I said, they still have not been able to reach a quorum down there in Texas. And so, all of this is kind of questioning now whether or not we're moving towards some kind of civil war. I'll tell you, I'd be happy. I'd be happy to lose California. I really would. There's a lot of great tech companies in California, but already you've seen so many of them relocate to the likes of Texas because what? Oh, Texas has no income tax. California, on the other hand, has the highest income tax in the country, and they fight you for it. I remember I used to live in California, and when we had moved to New York, we were still paying plenty, right, in terms of income tax. California was still hunting us down. Like 2 years after the fact, we're like, we moved. Okay, you don't get our revenue anymore. California doesn't like that. They keep trying. So they're looking for every nickel and dime they can from anybody who can pay it. And anybody who can pay it and has the opportunity to go somewhere else is taking that opportunity. And so that's what we're seeing really in real time. And Gavin's just going to have to deal with that some way, somehow. In the meantime, yeah, you're looking at some kind of, civil war.
Well, I think it's pretty sick and pathetic. And it just said everything you need to know, the setting that we're under. That they chose the time, manner, and place to send their district director outside right when we're about to have this press conference. Said everything you know about Donald Trump's America. And that was top down. You know that for a fact. And they'll deny it, I'm sure. Maybe they won't deny it. Said everything you know about the authoritarian tendencies of the President of the United States. I said it a moment ago, wake up, America. Wake up. You will not have a country if he rigs this election. You will have a president who will be running for a third term. Mark my word. I wasn't exaggerating when I said that I received in the mail a Trump 2028 hat from one of his biggest supporters. These guys are not screwing around. The rules do not apply to him. The most corrupt president in history. He doesn't believe in free enterprise, crony capitalism. He is wrecking this country, wrecking the economy. He's a lawless president. Wake up, America. Wake up to what's going on.
Not believe that this just happened to be a coincidence.
There is no way this was a coincidence. This was widely publicized that the governor and many of our other elected officials were having a press conference here.
Okay, we already saw her. But the point is that, he's lying through his teeth even when he says that. He's saying he's wrecking the economy. The economy's over. I mean, that's what they're trying to say.